definitely my mentor because I had to do the same thing, listen to what they're saying instead of how it's being told because they say certain things in a different way and it means something else. So it's definitely my mentor for sure.
Definitely true to that. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
So let's go back for a little bit. I know I mentioned in the opening that we've known each other for some time. ABA, Camden Monarchs is where we first met. No disrespect. Camden Monarchs was where we first met.
2019, 20?
Yeah, that was like 1920. Me doing what I do, also former player, coach, and referee, saw a lot of qualities. And I'm sure you didn't notice it, but a lot of those games that I was at, I'm sitting in the stands, and certain things go on in the game, and I'm running through my head. Some weeks I'm cringing, and some I'm like, all right, cool. So first, how did that come about with you playing for the Monarchs?
I probably been home like 2 weeks coming from Coastal. One of my old coaches from college, he was a younger guy, probably like 2 years older than me. He was trying out for the Camden Monarchs. So it was like something like a celebrity game, so like they had celebrity on one team and some of the guys that wanted to try out on the other team that were playing with each other. So I got there early with him because he asked me to come and watch it or whatever. And I ended up shooting around with him right before the game started and everything like that. And then the head coach, the GM, and somebody else on the staff asked me did I want to play just in a celebrity game. So I said yeah. So I played. Me and Lenny Cook. Me and him was going back and forth. After the game, they asked me to come to training camp.
Cool. Yeah. Shout out to Lenny. At that time, I think the GM was Joe Richmond. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to the Camden Monarchs that was there.
Tony Coleman,
your coach.
Stan
Laws. Shout outs to those folks that were there that welcomed me in when I was starting out and getting out in the dream league. So I definitely appreciative of them for that. So, moving along, as I'm watching those games and I noticed that you were becoming and evolving into one of, if not the top scorer, or if you could say usually the go-to guy. Comfort zone, or was that somewhat of a challenge for you?
Being the go-to guy? It wasn't really a challenge, it was more of a, pat on the back. There's a lot of places, like when I came from overseas, I was probably the third or fourth option, which I wasn't upset about or anything like that. I just know that the talent that we had on the team is Stanback. We were allowed to have 4 Americans. So, and then coming back and then being with all Americans and being one of the top 2 guys to go to, is a pat on the back, and it's like just telling me how far I've come and my growth. So it's definitely an accomplishment too.
Then we were away for a little bit. We come back, and then I saw you again. Did an intro and I popped up and I see you there, and it's like catching up. How did this come about? Thorobreds.
How did the Thorobreds come about?
You would have watched what you said.
No.
But the answer right.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember. Like the very first.
Ain't no shots gonna come off, dude.
Because I know. Our season ended. Well, something happened where our season ended, and my team scrimmaged their team. Camden Monarchs scrimmaged the Thorobreds. I wasn't playing on either team at the time.
Okay.
So to me, my season was over. So then I left to go overseas again. I think I was in Mexico. I came home. Nope, this is how it happened. I came home, and one of my guys from Central Jersey, his name was Ralph. He played for the Central Jersey Sharks. He reached out to me, asked me was I available to play. I was like, yeah, I just came home. Like, what are we playing? He's like, ABA. We had a game in Burlington. I said, all right, I'm in South Jersey. I can meet you in 30 minutes. So I ended up playing against him. Game 30. We lost though. But then after that, one of my guys, Jay McFadden, was playing the team at the time. So we ended up chopping up after the game. And I reached out to him, told him like, I didn't sign a contract with Ralph or anything like that. So I told him, I was like, if you got space, I was like, see if I could come play with y'all. So then the owner, Sean, reached out. Like, yeah, come to practice so you can see how your play style is and adapt with the guys. I was all right. And then it was
Definitely a good pick. Shout outs to the Shiner and the Thorobreds for making that acquisition. Definitely a good acquisition.
Yeah, shout out James Stanback. He the one that played
and
the center.
Jay McFadden as well. So we move into the Thorobreds, and we talk often. Some things popped up. We're moving off of the basketball court, so to speak. We're starting to bring. We got a coloring book, some t-shirts, hopefully more. I think I saw a bobblehead as well. So, how did all of that come?
Honestly, it probably started with obviously Shauna having like so much faith in me and not carrying the organization, but like backing it up, I guess, to keep it. What's the word? Keep it relevant. Not relevant, but like help people talk about it.
Yeah, I know where you're
So with that being that, and then like our relationship that we communicate outside of basketball, not just about basketball. So obviously she made a shirt for herself, being that probably one of the quickest guys to get 100 points, I think. Or close to it. I was 25 short. I didn't play it 2 games. But after that, I reached out to get shirts made for my family. But then when she made that, others started reaching out, asking for it as well. So then we got in talks. I mean, it mainly her idea. I wasn't opposed to it. I like that idea.
Well, absolutely.
So then we just moved forward with that.
Take advantage of that reach.
100%. Because it wasn't about it. I always thought about it, but like I ain't never like me step in the water with it.
Right. Definitely, I like it. Like I said, especially the kids' activity board. And I still like the fact that it's still centered around basketball. Still has that basketball theme. So you're staying in your wheelhouse. So what are your thoughts about that? Where do you think that can go? Where do you see that go with your brand?
I mean, I think it'll go far, especially if I continue to keep playing, especially in the States. Mind you, I have a lot of nieces and nephews. They got friends, stuff like that, and like if I continue the community day and stuff like that, I think it can be something that can grow.
I'm definitely gonna have one. I'm definitely gonna wear one when I do it, according to the show. Gotta show love to my peoples. I gotta find my Thoroughbred shirt. I got a Thoroughbred shirt. I gotta find it.
Man, I don't even got a Thoroughbred shirt.
Got a Thoroughbred shirt. I'm trying to find it.
Right. Hopefully we can both get one at the same time.
Hopefully we can work something out. If I get one, I'll try to get you one.
I appreciate that. I mean, look out for each other.
Gotcha. So, playing for the owner that you play for, what it is on Russia, let's talk a little bit about that. And I know she's probably looking at me crazy right now, so I'm not going to turn to look. But, again, like I said, we have talked about situations, things of that nature about her runnings of the team and some of the inner workings. I was actually proud when I found out that you were on her team, involved with her. And I was also proud to see that she now finally has a player. When she's listening, she'll understand where I'm going with this. She has a player that she can do what she was looking to do. And I just know this from talking to her outside of basketball. This is like where she was. I want to say tunnel vision, but this is her vision from the beginning, to have this team do a lot of stuff in the community like she does. But she was always looking for at least one player that she could extend and push forward. And some of the conversations we had, I felt like I kind of was talking to her a little bit off the bridge or away from the ledge. I hope it helped. I'm sure it did, because I'm sitting here with you now and we're talking about their branding. So again, I want to applaud her for that, especially for having that vision. And I want to say, again, more applause and more kudos for now having someone in that role that she can work that out and do all those things that she can do.
Sure.
So, with that being said, ownership relationship. I already know it's a good one. How would you talk about your relationship?
She's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. She's not crazy. But she's very, very thorough, especially with the organization. When it comes to the small details.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I don't even know, like, I ain't never did this before. I've never had this conversation before. Like, but it's definitely needed because I want to know the ins and outs of what I expect or was expected from me as well. So I definitely applaud her for that as well.
Great person.
No, for sure.
She said, and I just said that jokingly, but because she said to me in one part of our conversations, something about the people, the community, or something like that. This is very loose. I can't remember everything. My response to her was, you don't have to worry about that because you got people in that community that love you. And I only noticed that and witnessed that from a couple of events that I have been to where she has been the focal point of coaches. And the people that come out. And like I said, I'd say it jokingly, talking her away from, I won't even say talking her away from that ledge. So I'm humbled by her asking me those questions. I'm also appreciative of her effort in asking those questions. It just shows me her effort and her focus on what she wants to do, with everything that you just said about being in detail, right down to the exact moment, pinpoint, crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, making sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. So I wish you both tons and abundance of success, and I know it's going to happen. Last question. If you could start this whole thing over, do you think you would have been a different route, or you think it was going to have some similarities of what you're doing now?
What do you mean start over?
Start everything over, going back to first starting with the combined arts and then going overseas. As a matter of fact, going back to going overseas, going back that far. Do you think at any point you had any thoughts about saying, no, I want to go to school? And I understand what you said at your age. No looking
School
back, no
wasn't,
regrets.
it was never for me. Even now, like I got certain like certificates and qualifications that I gotta hand in. There's a lot of studying with that. It just reminds me of like school is not for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not for me.
That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to get your take on that and see how, if there was anything that you would adjust or change. So I always do this in my interviews. I like to switch it a little bit. I know I'm gonna sit here talking to you, drilling you, asking you questions that you might want to answer. Any questions you might want to
Not that come to mind right now.
Questions. Y'all looking at me, I'm looking away.
I got some questions, like no more.
Ask away, no questions. You sure? Wow. So, got a busy day, I heard.
Yeah, I got a
photo shoot after this and a game. So I definitely appreciate your time, being able to take time out of your busy day to sit and talk with me.
I got a question.
You got one question?
One question. Why do American basketball players feel the need that they're not successful unless they go overseas?
Why do they feel like they're not successful?
It's an accolade for a baller to say I played overseas. It's joked about if you play for a letter league in the United States. They don't get taken serious.
Even some guys that do play overseas, though, they don't get taken seriously depending on where you play them. So it's like it can be an accomplishment for yourself, but like if you go to Mexico and you play in a league that's not FIBA certified, you're not gonna get like you can come back home and say, oh, I'm a professional, I played overseas. But now you can't get a job nowhere that's FIBA certified because you don't got no record, no tape, or no like your feet in the door for nothing that's FIBA certified. So for guys that's not like I need to go overseas to make a name for myself, I don't feel like that's needed because like TBL, you still got TBT, you got some of the higher level ABAs, like because when the ABA first started in 2019-20, you had all across the country. It was in Mexico, it was in Phoenix, it was in California, it was here and there. Like some of those guys went straight to the G League after that. Like you don't have to play overseas to be considered a professional. I feel like it's how you carry yourself.
That's a good question. So now that you brought that up and answered that question, real quick or kind of summarize, talk a little bit about the levels of play. Because I'm sure a lot of people don't really truly understand the levels. And I know
There's definitely different levels. So
I know people are going to look at this and say, oh, he said FIBA, and he said TBL.
Yeah, so like,
just get them a little information.
So Mexico, they have the Ciba Copa, Ciba Pac, Chihuahua League, and LBP. Those are all like respectable leagues. But the only FIBA certified league is LNBP, which is the highest league. Former G League guys, NBA guys go there. So the other ones is like kind of stepping stones to get to that level.
So it's the same way over like the Euro.
100%. So it's just like here. So like ABA, TBL, G League. Yeah. Today. Yeah. So it's like they're all stepping stones.
So, I got two questions. My first question, name your top 3 favorite NBA players of all time. Like, who's the GOAT, right? In your eyes. In your eyes, right? But then after that, tell me your top 3 unsigned players. Because I always say there's somebody out
here. Unsigned, I didn't go to the league.
Yes, because I always say there's somebody better than Mike that just didn't get that shot. So there's always a concrete in the rose somewhere, like a rose in the concrete. Okay. Tell me who people should be on the lookout for, but then tell me who are like the top 3.
So my top 3, like growing up wise,
just period.
I would say, I'm gonna say my 3 that made me want to play basketball. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say Michael Jordan was great, but I didn't really get to watch him play, so I can't say that's my group. I'm not gonna say he's not top 5 because he is. But like my GOATs is like T-Mac, LeBron, and probably AI.
Before you ask your second one, I'm so glad that question was asked. I'm a little disappointed I didn't ask it, but I tend to stay away from that question. That's why I said I'm glad you asked that question. But what I have been telling people when I talk to people more and more often about this, and they go to GOAT and this and that, and I was just sitting there joking saying MJ is the GOAT. And make sure you paid attention to his response. He said, my players, people I watched, and I've stopped answering that question because so many times now, when I talk about that question, somebody say, well, who's your top 5 players? And I'm always with them. I'm gonna give you some stuff that you may be a little younger than me, you might not know some of these players. I say, but then again, as we sit here and talk about it, every time somebody gives you their list, somebody else is going to pop up and be like, damn it, I could have put him on my list. So I'm glad you answered it that way. Yeah. And I think that's a lot more honest way than other people getting into the hype and saying, well, LeBron is the GOAT, or this is the GOAT, but I definitely like and respect that you said.
Next question. So this is coming from a business owner's point of view. I tell everyone, and I'm sure you've heard me say this, it's the game of basketball and it's the business of basketball. Without the business side, there's no game. You guys are just playing in rec leagues.
Right.
So why does it seem like some players don't understand how revenue was brought in? Players will demand a top salary, but the only way the owner of that franchise makes money is through ticket sales, merchandise, and sponsorships. if no one knows who you are, no one could come play for you. I mean, come watch you.
Yeah.
So where does the money come from? If players don't want to work with the owner to meet in the middle somewhere to generate the revenue to pay the player. I think players sometimes have high expectations and expect owners to fund their hoop dream. Because I also feel like in corporate America, which a lot of owners, I can speak for myself, I run my team like a business. And if there's money going out, and not coming in corporate America, that's how it causes layoffs. But it seems like players don't understand that because they'll go play for rec leagues for free.
Or pay to play.
But you'll give that same talent to an ABA, a TBL, or whatever, a letter league, and expect payment for it.
I can give you like a little bit of insight on that because it's like a lot of teams that pay players to play sometimes like to play favorites. Some. I'm not gonna say all, but because it's true though. It's in all different organizations. Because like you still got guys that have no name that